Happy Thanksgiving 2020 everyone, Versatile Element here, and finally I have my second Q&A video ever since my other Q&A video back in July of 2018. And before we begin, I want to say that I won't be able to play music throughout this Q&A video, but I will bring them back in future Q&As. And it has been also a Q&A video that I've been planning since earlier this year, around May and June. And with that being said, if I can speak straight, let's begin this second Q&A video. Just the Demon Slayer is up first, and he asks what has been your favorite game you've played so far in 2020, which this question has like two answers. If you're talking about what's my favorite game I've played so far in 2020 throughout games in general that I've played this year, I'd like to say that it's the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, just because it's so colorful, it's so fun, the graphics are colorful, the game is so fun, and it has really brought me into the Spyro, the Dragon franchise this year, which I really have a history with Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon games before the Reignited Trilogy, but still, Reignited Trilogy brought me into the Spyro the Dragon franchises, as well as Spyro the Dragon franchise, as well as Crash Bandicoot and so on. But now you're talking about my favorite video game I've played so far in 2020, which was released in 2020, the 2020 games. I know Doom Eternal is a big game, which was delayed from last year, which is actually over a year since Doom Eternal's original November 2019 release date before it was delayed to March 20. But, as much as I like Doom Eternal, it is a lot harder than Doom 2016. Not just by a little bit, by a whole lot. As if Hurt Me Plenty is actually the hardest difficulty already. But when it comes to games I played this year, which is my favorite, either between Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time or Star Wars Squadrons, those are really two good games that are hard to choose between. So I hope this all answers your question. Spyro Reignited Trilogy, as well as either Crash Bandicoot 4 or Star Wars Squadrons. Gonga Sleet asks, what's one of your favorite franchises in both movies and games, and your favorite console? Now that first question, my favorite franchises in both movies and games, can't really say much other than like Star Wars, or maybe even Transformers, but yeah, Star Wars and Transformers, and I don't really talk about Transformers that much on my channel, but go ahead and have Transformers in this answer. It's Star Wars. And my favorite game console, I want to say the PlayStation 2, just because it's such a iconic console for the modern gaming, and it's the highest selling game console of all time, with over 150 million units sold since October 26, 2000 in America and worldwide. And Japan had their PlayStation 2 since March of 2000. If I said all this right. But at the same time, I feel like I'm that type of person who is like, oh, new is better in whatever we're talking about. Most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time I feel that way. Like, oh, PlayStation 2 is my favorite game console of all time, and then PlayStation 3 is released. Oh, PlayStation 3 is my favorite game console of all time, and then the PlayStation 4 comes out. PlayStation 4 is my favorite, and then PlayStation 5, although I haven't played the console yet, like so many people, because of this global pandemic this year. So I hope does it all answer your question. Favorite game console of all time probably be PlayStation 2. And then Dash has two questions for me, once again, like Gonga Sleet. Number 1, who's your favorite horror villain or movie? And number 2, what's your favorite Kaiju or Godzilla monster? My favorite horror movie or villain? I can't really say because I'm personally not a horror guy, so go ahead and roast me in the comments down below. And my favorite Kaiju, Godzilla monster? Gojira monster? My favorite Godzilla monster, probably besides Godzilla himself, maybe King Ghidorah. I think he's the three-headed dragon, if I'm not mistaken. It's just that Godzilla monster that pops into my head right away. So probably King Ghidorah. Savage Gamer plays, or Savage Gamer first, I should say. Favorite Star Wars movie, big boy? I'm just kidding. But yeah, favorite Star Wars movie. I think Revenge of the Sith is an easy snipe already. Although I've also grown up with the original trilogies, which even if you're a big, as in Star Wars fans in general, even if the prequel trilogy is your favorite trilogy, Star Wars trilogy of all time, even then, don't forget the original trilogy, man. If it weren't for the original trilogy being a success, you wouldn't have the prequel trilogy since 1999 over to 2005. You wouldn't probably have the Star Wars franchise to begin with if the original Star Wars was a flop, like maybe many people thought it was going to be back in the 70s. So, don't forget the original trilogy, no matter which Star Wars era you like the most. Shiltron4321 asks, what is your favorite band? Honestly, I don't really have a favorite band nowadays, but some bands I had growing up that were big on me was like All American Rejects from 2006 because of the Bionicle commercial with Lego. And even when your hope is gone, move along, just to make it through. And all the things get strong, move along. But I'm not gonna get much more into that. So maybe before it was All American Rejects, but also Linkin Park, not just because of Transformers, Michael Bay Transformers. Linkin Park was also big with me growing up. So maybe my favorite band before was either those two, All American Rejects or Linkin Park. So yeah. Mr. So What? He asked the question, how do you feel about life, big boy? Yeah, how do I feel about life? To be serious, life is good. I mean, life could still be better, but life is still good, even with this pandemic going on this year. So yeah, life is good. Could be better, but life is still overall good. Just the Demon Slayer is back again. Does pineapple belong on pizza? Which, okay, this is going to be a controversial answer, I'm going to say. I mean, like, does pineapple belong on pizza? Sure. I mean, I don't know why not. I mean, I don't get the hate towards pineapple on pizza. I mean, I can eat pineapple pizza. Even like, so yeah, pineapple belongs on pizza to a certain extent. And again, like, I can eat pineapple on pizza, even though cheese pizza is my favorite type of pizza. And even then, I keep on going more often than not with either sausage pizza or sausage and pepperoni pizza. So yeah, does pineapple belong on pizza? Sure, to a certain extent. And last but not least, Kofik Star Wars asks, favorite game? And favorite game. I want to say though, even though Uncharted is my favorite game series of all time, and Tekken is my favorite fighting game franchise of all time, although I've been getting into another fighting game franchise from the 90s, I want to say that two games are tied for being my favorite game of all time, which is Okami HD and Marvel Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4. I know with Okami HD, the original Okami was released back in 2006 for the PlayStation 2, which is probably why I get the Kingdom Hearts 2 vibe with Okami HD. They both released back in 2006. And Marvel Spider-Man, on the other hand, oh man, Spider-Man, of course, is my favorite superhero of all time, and it's just so fun in that game, zipping through on your spider web all across New York City, and the combat and the story. Even though the story isn't based on anything from the Spider-Man comics, as far as my knowledge goes, Marvel Spider-Man is such a fun game. Even today, even though like with all the story over, it feels a little lackluster with not that much content left to do unless you want to restart the game. And although I haven't played Spider-Man Miles Morales yet, I'm waiting for the PlayStation 5. Whenever I can get the PlayStation 5 to play Spider-Man Miles Morales, even though that game is also on the PlayStation 4, I'd rather wait for the PlayStation 5 to play Spider-Man Miles Morales. And with that all being said and done, this has been the end of the second Q&A video. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a great Christmas holiday throughout this holidays, but today I hope you have a great Thanksgiving first and throughout Christmas with your friends and family during this holiday. Once again, hope you enjoyed. Versatile Element signing out, and I shall see you throughout the winter holidays during the next one. See you in the next one, I should say, during this Christmas and Thanksgiving holiday.